Hey, what's going on, team? It's Ricky with TechBit Solutions, and I have the man, the myth, the legend. Just kidding. I have my little sister here, Clara. So one of the things that we wanted to talk about today is she came to visit me today, and I was having a pretty rough start. If you're part of the Learn Plan Profit team, you would have seen kind of what I went through this morning when it came down to a very poor trade. I think a lot of you guys can agree that, especially it being Monday, right? Today's November 18th. And I ended last week with a small little red day. It was $105. And today I was down $500 within my first trade. So I wanted to recap. I wanted to talk about what led to my success. I did end the day green, but I don't just want to talk about that because that's just another green day. I want to talk about where I went wrong. And if you're part of the Learn Plan Profit group, but you missed the live trading session from today, I would suggest for you to go back, watch it, and see the mistakes that I made. So I'm going to start sharing my screen just so you guys can see exactly what it is that I have going on here. And I'm going to first show you overall my positions, right? So $509.07 profit. All my positions are closed. I began trading at 7:33 and I took my last trade at about 11. So you guys can see all the trades there. And I wanted to have this thing show up. So as you guys could see, I was actually down when I still had my open position. I was down nearly $1,000 on DGAS. I ended up cutting losses at 546, and then I took another trade. I did quite well with that. I was able to recover from the $500 loss, and then I was up $28. I took a couple more trades, and then I ended up closing the day at $509.07. I know a lot of you guys can maybe sometimes start off wrong, but what mindset did I have to really begin to dig back on my profits and, make that recovery? I also want to give a huge shout out to my sister, and this is one of the reasons that I have her here. She doesn't trade very often, and the only real time that she trades is if I send her a message giving her a heads up on something that's very overbought and oversold. But I think that we can all agree that this is her Robinhood account. And on the past year, you guys could see that, again, it's not all perfect, but 28%, if I'm not mistaken, the only trades that you take are both on natural gas, right?
Yeah.
UGAS and DGAS. How many trades would you say that you take a week?
Usually a week I try to only focus on like one or two because I don't want to have too much on my plate, but yeah. I find that...
Well, trading is definitely not her biggest passion, right? So altogether, I just thought it was kind of interesting to emphasize the idea of one of the sayings that we have within Learn Plan Profit and TechBit Solutions, and it's trade less, profit more. It's not about trading necessarily every single day. It's good to have daily goals. It's good to have weekly goals. It's good to have monthly goals. But at the end of the day, it's not a make it or break it. It's you're competing against yourself, challenging yourself every single day. And one of the mistakes that I made today, let me just get right to it, is where did I go wrong? Why did I take such a bad trade on DGAS? As you guys can see, I did quite well as I recovered $356. But what began to happen is, I want to kind of go back. Natural gas was showing signs of an aggressive sell-off. It was making lower lows, lower highs. And again, as soon as the market opens, Mountain Standard Time, it's at 7:30. Natural gas began, so again, all pre-market session. Natural gas is selling off, trading in between the middle and bottom VWAP. And of course, as soon as I come in, right, it begins to push up, breaks above the middle VWAP, continues to make higher highs. How many of you guys have ever felt that the overall market is literally just against you? It doesn't matter what you feel. I made 3 mistakes today. My 3 mistakes are, I had a certain direction that I was following. You guys might be saying, well, if natural gas is selling off, why are you going into DGAS? You guys might not understand the correlation. So what that means is when natural gas sells off, DGAS goes up. So because I'm focusing on direction and I saw natural gas to be overbought, this is exactly when I chose to take the position. So natural gas was, again, pushing up. I saw it to have some pullback potential, looking at the MACD, looking at the RSI, and again, looking at the overall previous direction, I saw that it could pull back. And it did pull back a little bit, but then quickly began to recover and then ultimately change its direction. So my position size, one of the first things, the trend was not my friend, to put in very simple terms. It was not confirming that descending pattern that I saw value in. But anyways, I took my position, and I not only took a small position, but I added more to that position size because I got too comfortable. And that's the second thing that I want to talk about. So my position size was too heavy. So when it began to go south, I talked about this before, and again, we're human, we make mistakes. It began to go south. My position size was too great. I didn't have a mental stop loss, another mistake. That's step number 2, right? And because I didn't have that mental stop loss and my position size was too great, I was too confident and I did not, again, I normally like to keep my losses per position at less than $200. I was already down $500 when things were going south. So my position size was way too heavy and I didn't do a good job structuring where to get out. And this is something that I've emphasized time after time, that if you're entering a position, I can't emphasize how important this is, but every single time that you enter a trade, if all you're thinking about is how much money you're gonna make, this is not a 9-to-5 job. Just because you put in the hours does not mean that you get a direct output. You have to have a plan and you have to have structure. And I think that we can both agree that, the only way that you can continuously grow your account is if you have some form of risk management. So what I think I ended up doing very beautifully is after I cut losses and I made that ginormous mistake, right? Going back to where I was down the, $546. This is my daily goal. My daily goal was $500 profit a day. I was down $500. I was about to give up. And then one of the things that I began to see is like, holy moly, natural gas is beginning to consolidate. It's beginning to show signs of a peak formation. And this is one of the things that I brought up within the Learn, Plan, Profit group. If you guys go to the trade ideas section, right around this general area, right, when I was beginning to recover, is that natural gas looks like it's holding above the middle VWAP. It's still struggling to identify direction. And then one of the things that we began to see is that natural gas began to consolidate and then it began to get rejected. This is where I began to make my comeback. Once that direction was a little bit more clear, look at this. It's a perfect descending pattern of it just getting rejected by the EMA line, making lower lows, making lower highs. The more natural gas sells off, the more that's in my favor of degas. And that's really when I began to chip away from my loss and then moved into the green. And then from the green, I really began to be selective. So I don't know if you guys have ever thought about it this way, but I have not only been in red position sometimes, but when I have the mentality that, hey, how am I gonna, go back to the green? All I'm thinking about is taking back the money that I lost. That's the mindset that we have. It's almost like something was taken away from me. And that was not my mindset at all today. It was either I was gonna allow an opportunity to present itself, so starting fresh regardless of my, P&L on the day, and not so much about like, I wanna make back what I lost. So it wasn't about making back what I lost, but focusing on the sole purpose of allowing an opportunity to present itself. And then that's, again, when I began to chip away and ended up making quite a bit. So I'm going to go ahead and show you both, the mistakes and everything it is that I made. So I'm going to go ahead and click Show Trades here. And just so you guys could see, that was my entry. That's where I cut losses. Again, all that bad stuff. There we go. We cut losses here, right? And then I got in again, sold, bought, and then sold again. So that was my overall trade on DGAS, right? And then when it comes down to my position on UGAS, this is what we got going on here. So I bought, sold, and then bought and sold very quickly, $153. And there we go, 509.07. And one of the things that I want to repeat is the overall idea of how important it is. That, my 3 takeaways. Let's just recap that really quickly. Just because there's a previous pattern, patterns tend to repeat themselves, they don't have to. I like to focus on confirmation, making sure that the overall direction is in my favor, and having some form of, continuous pattern, right? The 3 mistakes that I made today is that I did not have the proper risk management every single time. And you will learn this as time goes on. And mark my words, every single time as you enter a position, you need to have an idea, a price point, dollar amount or percentage, that's up to you to decide, where you're getting in, where you're going to sell for a profit if things go according to plan. But this is not a 9-to-5 job. So therefore, you have to have some form of risk management. Where are you going to cut losses if things go south? Is that, at a max 1% stop loss? Is that at a break of pattern? That's up to you to decide. Every single time, if you're just taking a position, hoping for the best and only thinking about the upside, trust me, it's going to end up biting you in the butt. The second thing is, we already talked about risk management and how important it is for the overall direction to be in your favor. If you guys have ever ever had a day where you're just following something as it's uptrending, it's just so easy to make money because the trend is your friend, right? It's going in your favor. But when things are going south and all you're trying to do is to take back the money that you lost, it is almost impossible to recover because of that poor mindset. And then one of the last things that I really just want to emphasize is that you literally do not have to trade every single day. She's a perfect example. I don't know how long you guys have been trading, but she's a perfect example that for someone that does this for fun on the side, and yes, she does have me as a reminder, but on the year, 28% growth. Nothing special. It's just the idea of, again, focusing on quality trades. Yes, you're going to make mistakes, but this is a market where I think, then this is just me speaking, where you definitely need to put all your emotions aside and enjoy, the learning experience and enjoy the process and really allow an opportunity to present itself. So if you're a day trader, that's great that you wake up every single day and you're on the hunt. But just know that it's not every single day that you have to take a trade. A goal is something to work towards, not something that you have to hit every single day. So one of the things that I know you guys are going to be asking is if you guys want to follow my sister on Instagram, feel free to Instagram search her. Her name is Lady Day Trader. So you guys can go ahead and add her on Instagram. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to drop that down in the comment section. But I really think that we talked about very important just principles that a lot of beginner traders can benefit from. And if you guys agree, we'd really appreciate the thumbs up. If you guys have not joined our free Facebook group, that's going to be that first link for you down below. We're the largest Facebook group in the world for those that day trade in the stock market. On top of that, you heard me talk about them in this video. It's the Learn Plan Profit group, and it's literally the only group that gets to watch me trade live. So if you like what it is that you see on my YouTube channel and you want to work with me on a closer basis, that is the only option that I offer, and you'll literally get to watch me trade live every single day. So if you want to learn more about it and to see if it's a good fit for you, all you have to do is click that second link down below to see what the Learn Plan Profit team has to offer you. Really do appreciate you guys' time. Like I said, we really appreciate your thumbs up. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take it easy, team.